Everybody knows how to work with a pivot table, but just a few of them know these insane tricks that I'm about to show you. Whenever I discuss these tricks with my friends and colleagues, they're like, how exactly did you do that? Well, I'm about to show you how did I do that. Let's start. Alright, my first trick is how do you do double summarization on a pivot table in Excel? A lot of times you would have the need on creating a pivot table on top of a pivot table. If you haven't done that, this example will make it clear. And how do you solve such problems in a pivot table? So I've got this data, really simple: date, sales rep, customer, amount, cost, profit, and region. Nothing that complicated. You would have worked with data sets like these. Now, from this particular data, I have drawn up a pivot table on another sheet. And here is my empty pivot table. Let's just say, for instance, I drag the region off to the rows and I drag the amount off to my values and I get a pivot table something like this. Now here is the question. For every single region, I want to know the sales of the top selling salesman. Simple as that. Now, if you were to do that using a pivot table, you would end up doing something like this. So you will just probably copy this pivot table on the side one more time, and then I will take my sales rep and put that in the rows section right here. And that is going to give two dimensions of the pivot table. So now I'm taking a look at the pivot table by the region and by the sales rep. And if I just happen to sort this particular column, Alt ASD, that's the shortcut for sort in the descending order, I'm going to have the top selling salesman right up on the top. Now, obviously, you can see the sales of the top selling salesman, but you're also seeing the sales of all the other possible 100, 200 salesmen that you have in the company. That's not what I wanted. I, however, wanted that the sales of the top selling salesman should be captured and should be placed right here in the pivot table. So along with the sales of the East, I am just seeing one particular number, which is the sales of the top selling salesman. And then again, right here, this number comes right here in the second cell, so on and so forth. Now, to be able to solve such problems, what you would have to do otherwise in Excel is create a pivot on top of a pivot if you're working with regular Excel. So what you would do is you would probably use this particular data as a data source and create a pivot table on top of this. And then, because we just have one column, you will just find the max value of this column, which happens to be 204,000, and then that is going to be your answer. So this is how most people end up doing. But using double summarization and the DAX formula method, you can just do that in a single click. So let me show you how. So I'm going to maybe trigger a pivot table from the data once again. So Alt NV is the shortcut to make a pivot table. I'm going to make a pivot table, and then I will also add this to the data model. This ensures that this we are creating off from a power pivot. I'm going to click on OK, and just like a regular pivot table, I get a pivot table on a new worksheet, and let's just start doing the thing. So I'm going to go ahead and put the region again in the rows, and this time I'm going to start writing the calculation. So I'm going to go ahead and go to Power Pivot, and in Power Pivot, I can go ahead and click on measures and make a new measure instead. So I'm going to go ahead and say something like, hey, first of all, I would like to calculate my total sales. And the formula for calculating total sales is like ridiculously simple. Just sum the amount column in the data table, close the bracket. If I want, I can also give it like a formatting here, maybe no decimals, 1000 separated is fine. Click on OK, and we have the number like this. Now, against this particular number, I want to find the max in the region of East. So how do I do that? Now, if you take a look at the previous problem right here, we were able to find the max only when we were able to summarize our data by the region and by the sales rep, and against every single sales rep we had their values, and then we picked up the max values. So our approach is going to be a two-pronged approach. First one is that, hey, summarize the data by the sales rep. That's one. Calculate the sales against every single one, and then pick up the max value. Let's just see how can we do that. So I'm going to go ahead in Power Pivot, click on measures, make a new measure again, and I'm going to call this as my top salesman, right? And I'm going to go ahead and start to write a very simple max X calculation. So I'm going to say, hey, I'm looking forward to do a max X, and the table is going to be, hey, a unique table that gives me the names of all the salesmen. So the values function is made to do uniques over a certain column. Which column is that? The column is nothing but the sales rep column. Now this is going to remove the duplicates and give you all the salesmen. Against every single salesman, I'm trying to find out sales. So for that, I just created a measure called total sales. And once you have the salesmen and all the sales calculated against that through these two, the max X function will just pick up the maximum value, which could be whatever value, and then drop that value in the cell. How awesome is that? So number formatting once again, no decimals, click on OK, and we are kind of good to go. Now I have that number. I don't really have to do a pivot on top of pivot. This particular formula is just going to work beautifully across any kind of dimension that I want, which is where I want to see the max salesman. Quick interruption in the video in case you're liking the video so far and you're wondering that how can I learn these skills of writing good DAX, good data modeling, the M language behind Power Query, and all of the nuances of Power BI that makes it work. I have brilliant courses on Power BI, especially the Power Query part, the DAX part, data modeling part, and the M language part. In the courses, I take you from a beginner level and take you to more advanced concepts, try to explain you the logic of how things are working so that you feel confident in applying the learnings to even on your own data sets. Hundreds and hundreds of students have joined my courses and they have benefited a lot. In case you're interested, the link for the courses is going to be down in the description of the video. Let's get back to the video. From the previous trick, I know exactly what you're thinking. If I have gotten the top selling salesman's value, can I get his name as well? Sure enough, I can get that, but I'm going to show that to you in the end. But the rest of the tricks are pretty damn interesting as well. So let's just take a look. So a lot of times you would want the ability to shuffle the values of the pivot table. So this is not going to happen in a Power Pivot table, which is what we have made at the moment. So if I just go back to the regular pivot table, the one that I just made a while ago, you're going to see that here we have a few values. So east, north, south, and west. And I would like the ability to reshuffle the values that I would want it in a certain order. How do I do that? Well, the easiest and the fastest way to get this done is just start typing whatever you want. So perhaps I want to have the west first, so I can just go in and start typing west, press enter, and the values are going to shuffle. And then we have the north and we have the south, and then the east is the balanced one. In case you are doing it over a layered pivot table, it's going to actually shuffle the layers as well, like multi-dimensional pivot table. It's going to do that automatically. And this is one of the easiest ways that I have found to shuffle the pivot table and shuffle the values of the pivot table. Moving on to the next trick. My next trick also applies to a regular pivot table. Let's just see how that is done. So let's just say that I'm working with a normal pivot table, and in here I have three dimensions or three slices of the pivot table, one by customer, then by region, and then by sales rep, and then we have the amount, obviously. Now, obviously, you know that once you click on the pivot table, you can go over to the design tab and you can go to the layout, and you can just say repeat all the item labels, and that is going to ensure that all of these labels that we have, they are going to repeat it throughout the pivot table. Let's just take a look at how that works. So design, report layout, and then repeat all the item labels, and sure enough, they get repeated. There is no doubt about it that you don't know of that. But how do I selectively repeat the labels is what I'm going to show it to you. So let's just say that I don't want to repeat the customer label. However, I just want to repeat the region label, and only this label should be repeated, not this one. So what do? I right click on the region and then go over to value field settings. In value field settings, I can go over to the layout, and then here only for the region, which is this particular field, I am going to choose repeat the item labels. And if I do that from here, this is only going to repeat the item labels for the region, and that is pretty damn awesome. My next trick is, how do you create a pivot table for multiple dimensions all in one go in separate pages? Let's just take a look. So I have obviously a pivot table, and this is my regular pivot table, not a Power Pivot table. So we have region right here, we have the sales rep right here, and we have amount. And instead of having all the regions in one single pivot table, I would like to make one sheet for every single region. One sheet. So how do I actually do that? I'm actually going to go ahead and use the filters for this. So take the regions off from the rows and put that in the filters. So I will just do that. And you can see that the filters actually come up on the top. And here I can actually filter for any particular pivot table or any particular region. Now, using this particular feature, I'm going to draw up multiple pivot tables on multiple sheets, but not manually using an inbuilt feature. Let me show you how. So I'm going to go over to the Analyze tab. In the Analyze tab, under the Options drop down right here, you have something called as Report Filter Pages. Now, I would like to make a page for every single item of the filter. So I just click right here and it shows, hey, do you want to make multiple pages of the region? You can do that. In case multiple regions are selected, then it's only going to make the pages for the selected regions in the filter right here. At the moment, none of the regions are selected. So as many regions I have, I'm going to get that many number of pages. So I do that. And if you carefully take a look at the number of pages that I have, I click on OK, and I'm going to get a page for every single region. One for East, one for North, one for South, and one for West, automatically filtered to that value. And once the pivot table changes, you can refresh them all and your pivot table is automatically going to update. Finally, let's just get back to the question that we started with. Can we get the name of the salesman that I teased you with at the start of this interesting video? So we have the top selling salesman sales, but hey, I would like to also find the name of the salesman. What name are you? So how do we actually do that? I'm going to go ahead and start to write a very interesting thing. So the way that I'm going to solve this problem, the logic of this is something like this. I'm going to form a table like this, and in that particular table, I will select only one row through a condition, and the condition should be that the sum of the amount or the total sales should be the maximum value. So I will form a one row table where the condition is that this value should be maximum, and then from that particular one row table I will pick up the name of the salesman. Let's just see how that is done in Power Pivot. So I'm going to go over to Power Pivot. I'm going to go ahead and click on measures and click on a new measure, and then obviously go over to the measure name, and I'm going to say, hey, this is my top salesman. This is my name of the salesman. So how do I actually form a one row table? The formula for that is nothing but top n. So I will write top n. How many rows do I want? Just one row I want. From which table I want? I want it from, let's say, a particular table which I will create. So values of sales rep, and do that. And this particular one row is not going to be the literal first row. It's going to be the first row based off a condition, and that condition is nothing but my calculation, which is my total sales. Once I create this particular table, it's a full table. I would want to pick up the only value in this table. If there is a tie, you're going to see two values in the table. So I'm going to use a function called concatenate x. In the concatenate x, I have this particular table, which is right here. And from this particular table, I want to pick up, let's say, the sales rep column that I have. In case there are two sales rep, I would want to separate them with a delimiter, maybe like a comma or something. This is good to go. But for now, we just have one. I will check the formula. This is all good to go. And this, my friend, because we have used concatenate x, it's going to give you the text value. How awesome is that? Let's just take a look. So I'm going to click on OK. And sure enough, we have the text value of the salesman that delivered that top sales. Once you have the top selling salesman, you can see that top selling salesman across regions, across quarters, across customers, and whatnot. I've got 5 more very interesting Excel tricks that I'm going to see you with in the next video. See you in the next one. Cheers.